2015, so many sequels that we've seen. Star Wars, Mad Max, and Jurassic World. Let's start reviewing. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is a Reeler Guy review, and today's review is Jurassic World. Jurassic World, directed by Colin Trevorrow. I think it's Trevorrow. Screw these pronunciations. Was released in 2015 and is the fourth installment of the Jurassic Park franchise, dating back all the way to 1993 to Steven Spielberg's epic masterpiece of dinosaurs ruling the Earth once again. So how does this long-running franchise hold up? Well, the first one is one of the greatest movies of all time. The second one is a pretty fun adventure movie, but it's nowhere near as awesome as the first. And the third one. Excuse me. So has life truly found a way in this new film? Let's find out. Okay, so I'm going to be flat out honest. This is the most predictable entry in the Jurassic Park series yet, so whatever you thought was going to happen pretty much happened. So the movie starts off in some snow-covered neighborhood. I can't remember which city it's in. Probably Alaska. Fuck you, I know Alaska's a state. Totally knew that. You remember those annoying two kids from the first film? Well, they've been replaced by two new annoying kids. One of them being the kid from Insidious, Ty Simpkins, and his older brother, Nick Robertson. Robertson? Shit, I can't remember his last name. Well, anyways, they're so annoying. The new kid, we see him using, like, what's it called? Not a kaleidoscope, but it's like one of those things where you have the picture up and you stick the disc images in there and you flip through them and you get to see all the pictures looking through. I mean, Jesus Christ, who even has one of those things anymore? I mean, I had a blast with it when I was a little kid, but they practically don't exist in 2015, so, yeah, weird. So they're just, they're heading off on an airplane, and their mom and dad are be like, "You're gonna have so much fun, try not to get eaten, bye." And so they both leave, and the older brother is your typical generic, jerk-faced teenager who's a douche to everybody and all he cares about is getting laid with teenage chicks. So, nothing much to him. Ty Simpkins is a little more likable than his older brother because, he's like, "Oh, I want to see everything, it's so interesting." Still annoying, but more likable because his brother's just flat-out douche. So, they head to the park, and they're going to see their Aunt Claire, who actually is so busy she can't even afford time with her kids, played by Bryce Dallas Howard at the ever so generic business operations owner. I have to be so in check and organized, and I have to walk straight like this all the time. So the kids end up going to a hotel, and they just walk around, but they have to have this like guide or whatever. I don't know if it's a guide or just someone to keep an eye on them. This person named her name is Zara, and she's just some random British chick. No other purpose to it. Then it's cut to Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, who's the Raptor trainer. Yeah, he basically just, it's not exactly a petting zoo or whatever, but he just tosses them food, lets them run around, does tricks with them. Almost makes them look like circus animals or something, so it's cool. And it's him and his black friend. I am not racist, I am just saying what the dude is. His black friend and him are raptor trainers, and believe it or not, the black guy does not get eaten in this movie. Holy God, what have we come to? It's crazy. There's your plot twist right there if you were expecting one. So what happens is they're very successful at it, and incident happens. One of the new guys that's helping, not train with the raptors, but feed them this pig, or I don't know, they have these pigs in the system that they're trying to get the raptors to chase after. I don't know, it makes no sense. So a pig gets loose, and this guy, who's I think is a volunteer there, hell, I don't know, he's just some experienced son of a bitch, and he falls in, and Chris Pratt's like, "Oh no, he's raptor food." So Chris Pratt dives in there, and they open the gate, the other guy gets back inside, and Chris Pratt's all like, "Get back, stay back, I see you, stay back, watch it." And so at the last second, he does this like epic like roll back into the cage before the Raptors can get him. And so everybody watches it as it happens. And Vincent D'Onofrio comes up and he's like, "We could use Raptors for military training. I could see them out on the battlefield going right to the enemy's teeth, swallowing them whole, belt buckle and all." That is literally what Vincent D'Onofrio does in this movie. Holy God. I mean, that he's the most retarded character, I'd say, in the movie. I mean, he's not like annoying like the. I mean, he is annoying, but not like in the annoying type of like always screwing over everything. Well, I mean, he does make some bad screw ups, but not like for example, Jurassic shit 3. I mean, Park 3. Like the Kirby's. Amanda Kirby, she's like screams at everything and freaks out and is always getting them into trouble. You know, it's that not that type of annoying. That's much worse of a type of annoying, if you ask me. And he's just this dumbass who thinks he can put dinosaurs in the military. Later on, Bryce Dallas Howard ends up having to confront Chris Pratt to tell him, "We need you because you're some special guy here who has experience with some sort of shit to check out the new dinosaur. And we need to make sure it's 100% safe, even though we're asking stupid questions to begin with." So Chris Pratt goes to the Indominus's cage, checks it out, and he's like, "What's with those claw marks on the wall? Did the dinosaur climb out?" And Bryce Dallas Howard's like, "Oh God, Code 19, the dinosaurs escaped." And so they go down there, check it out, and nothing's in the pen. And then later on, they like check to see where the tracker is, and it ends up it's in the cage, and then shit gets bad. I mean, a couple of workers get eaten, and Chris Pratt barely makes it out, and he's like hiding under this car, and like the Indominus is right next to him, like, grrr. It's like its face is like right next to underneath the car. So that scene was pretty cool, actually. So, Arifin Khan, Jesus, I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. I'm just gonna say it wrong. Bitch about it all you want in the comments. I give you permission to. So Arifin Khan, he's basically in place of John Hammond. He's probably the coolest guy in this movie. I'd say he's probably the best character, because he's supposed to be the John Hammond of the park. He's like, "We don't need to care about cost. We just need to let the customers be satisfied," and like that basically. And he's like, and he even references John Hammond. He's like, "Spare no expense," he used to say. So I mean, he's cool. He's sort of cool, I guess. Then later on, as the Indominus breaks out, somehow the kids get involved and to pay homage sort of to the scene where the two kids are in the car and it gets flipped over in the original. They're in the gyrosphere instead, and the Indominus, tries to eat them out of that and breaks it, and they jump off this waterfall in the middle of the park, in the park grounds, and they barely get eaten, but they make it out alive. And Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard have to go looking for them, and they get attacked by several dinosaurs. I'm telling you, this is a predictable movie. You know what's gonna happen. And so later on, even though Vincent D'Onofrio ends up getting somewhat of his wish granted with the Raptors being set free to attack or whatever, a field test is what he wants. And the field test is to let the Raptors loose so they can come help Chris Pratt and some of the other guys to take out the Indominus Rex. And so there's this cool scene where they go and they got to go up against it. Then the Raptors are like, they're communicating like, "Burr, burr." That's totally not what Raptors sound like, but whatever. And so the ends is revealed to have been a mix, I think a genetic mix of T-Rex, Velociraptor, cuttlefish, because it can cuttlefish. It's chameleon that can change color. Something with cuttlefish that can either thermal, like sense thermal energy. I don't know. It's weird. So the Indominus ends up having the Raptors on its side, and now the Raptors are trying to kill all the humans and everything. So, and later on, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard end up getting united with the kids, and they're running away from everything, trying to escape the island. Then the end part comes, and the Raptors are cornered around them, and Chris Pratt's like, "So this is how it all goes down. You're gonna betray me now." So then, Blue, the most loyal of his raptors, ends up turning against the Indominus, and so do all the raptors follow. And then, like, all the raptors get killed except for one. One of them's even blown up by a freaking bazooka. Jeez. So only Blue, the loyal one, ends up surviving, and it ends up turning out the Raptors can't take on the Indominus on its own. So that's when Bryce Dallas Howard takes the flare and standing in front of the T-Rex, and Rexy comes up, and it's actually a pretty cool scene. You see it approach from the gate in the dark, and it actually is pretty cool. I mean, I like how they bring up stuff from the original, but this one relies too much on the nostalgia factor for fans to like it. Like, for example, in Star Wars: The Force Awakens, they had enough original material to stand on its own two legs, even though it took very, very, very many cues from A New Hope. It had more original concepts to it than it stuck to its precedent. But here, Jurassic World, there's nothing new you can make up about it. Dinosaurs are gonna break free from their cages and they're gonna eat the customers. That's pretty much what happens every time. So they're trying to pay homage to the original, but the thing is, the original was a sci-fi thriller, telling you shouldn't do this shit to begin with. Don't make dinosaurs because dinosaurs are going to eat you and you're going to get screwed over. But they still haven't learned from that. That's why they're making the goddamn hybrid, because they want new dinosaurs, bigger, scarier, more teeth. Because that's just how much of an attention span the human race has. They see a dinosaur after 20 years of it existing. They're still not fascinated. They want more. Yeah, so yeah, A plus on society improvement. So, and the T Rex, which is cool and all, it comes up and attacks the Indominus with the Raptor, and there's this really epic fight that ensues. It's actually pretty cool, probably the best scene of the movie. And then the Indominus is almost like dead and stuff, and is standing right next to the pool where the Mosasaur is. Mosasaur jumps out like rah, and bites it by the head and drags it back into the pool. So after that, everybody's like, "What do we do now?" And we stick together. We gotta survive. And the movie ends, shows the T-Rex roaring on top of the on one of the paddocks, and it goes rah, like it did in the original, except it doesn't say "When dinosaurs rule the earth," banner falling over it. So Jurassic World. Believe it or not, I actually had a lot of fun with this movie. I know it seems like I'm bitching about it more than I am appreciating it here. Seriously, I have a lot of complaints with this, and it sounds like that's all I have. But I actually did have fun with this movie. I mean, compared to Jurassic Park 3, God, this is Oscar worthy. But I'd probably say it's the best Jurassic Park since the original. I mean, yes, predictable, but it's just a lot of fun if you just get it out of the way that it's not going to be a sci-fi thriller with a lot of strong standing morals about humans and the power of what we have to create and stuff, and what we create and what it does to us. It's a monster movie. You're gonna see dinosaurs fight. You're gonna see people get eaten. So just come into it with those expectations. In which fact I did, which is why I enjoyed it more than other people did. So I'd probably give it 7 out of 10. It wasn't bad. So thanks for watching this Real Guy review, and I'm reeling out.